Hello, everybody. Welcome to the ZLBpodcast, episode 82. That is a hell of a lot of episodes. Sounding a little bit more clearer, sitting a little bit more comfortable. No longer at the Game Expo. It kind of feels like it's been almost a year since the last time we had just a normal podcast. There's been a lot going on. Every man and his dog has either used AI, launched AI. There's even an AI dog going around now, and it's all just kind of wild. However, as much as we talk about AI, this show is 100% human, except for the one VTuber that we have, which is kind of questionable whether or not it's AI.
You'll definitely come across a lot of creeps.
Where have all these cancelable opinions?
You guys keep boots at 60 feet.
No, it's a picture of my boots.
That's it. That's the title of the podcast.
They're rock hard.
That's great advice.
Welcome on in, Shelby AI.
Let me out.
She wants out.
And welcome back, Tame.
Yo, what's up?
Had no Tame last week because we were at the Game Expo. It was weird, to be honest.
Yeah.
Weird. You're just always here. You're like a
If
permanent...
you're doing one at PAX, I'm coming.
Yeah! That's it. You heard it here first.
You're going to join us in the closet this
Hell
time.
yeah.
No, we're not doing that.
Time.
We're not doing the closet again. No.
No,
Yeah, we'll do it legit. Do it proper. We're
I'm gonna
done.
go find the person who runs it. Tell him what's up. This is what he's gonna do.
We'll just set up in the middle of the show floor and just be like, "Yo, we're doing a podcast. If everyone could just keep it down, that'd be lovely." But yeah, it's been kind of a hectic week in general. I don't know. I feel like we maybe took on too much this week, but I'm going through a phase. Right, the phase is pretty simple. I say yes to everything, which is fine. Like it's good. It opens up a lot of opportunities, but also I feel like sometimes
Get tired,
I'm
man.
tired, man. Yeah.
I'm tired too. I don't even sign up for it, but I'm tired. I just get pulled along to these.
We literally an hour ago we were sitting in a packed cinema for a preview screening for the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which doesn't even come out till the end of the month. So red hot, we've seen it first.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I filmed it on my phone. No. It was kind of wild actually because I know a lot of people. I know a lot of people around Melbourne in the sense like I know who they are. We don't get along and go, hey, how's the family? It's like none of that. But I recognized like a heap of cosplayers and stuff, and they're all lugging gear around in Melbourne Central. I'm like, they're here for the event. They're here for Dungeons and Dragons. For sure. And it's sure enough, because we go, if you've ever been to Melbourne Central, you go right up to the top level, and there's a Hoyts up there, and they had it all kitted out and kind of like they put up with like these black curtains and like made it all mood lit, and they had a couple of like stages with backdrops saying Dungeons and Dragons movie and everything else. Then they had knights and like all the like medieval people just walking around. There's probably about 10, 15 of them. It wasn't even.
Yeah, it was good. They were entertaining people and take photo ops with them, and it was nice and they were chill.
It's usually you get like one person turns up as
I think
Batman
some
to
of
any
them-
DC movie, and that's about it. And this is like
Yeah.
fair income. A lot of them I know are like into LARPing and like
That's what I was gonna say. I think some of them were
Yeah.
laughing, and they were there with their like laughing outfits.
yeah. They let me hold their sword. That was nice.
You're holding people.
Was it a real sword or
Nah, it was made
just
it was made out of foam,
Oh yeah.
but it looks like a real sword. That's the important thing.
Yeah.
Anyone who's like shopping and just look up, they just would have seen all these knights with swords running around the top level of Melbourne Central. What the heck is going on up there? And donuts for some reason. I don't know I don't know how the donuts tied into it.
It's a mimic donut, I think.
What is that? What does that mean?
Yeah, what
a
is
mimic
that?
is a creature in Dungeons and Dragons that can disguise as anything. So usually they're shown
okay.
as chests. So in the movie there is a mimic that is a chest in the maze. So I think the donuts were supposed to be like, it's a donut, but it's a monster, it's a mimic.
Yeah, yep.
Because it had eyes and like a little it was red.
It's maybe too much cross pollination, but they should have done sweet rolls.
Maybe they did. They were playing Skyrim music for some reason. So
Stole my sweet roll.
yeah.
But no, it was good. There was a lot of people there. I did recognize a few people from Twitch who were kicking around as well. A lot of cosplayers, a lot of influence and stuff like that. A lot of kids as well. Family friendly movie. So it was it's good. You keep forgetting that like half of like action movies and stuff like that, they get like a PG or MA rating because a person gets stabbed or whatever. You put them in a full suit of armor and then you smack them with a metal stick and they fall off a cliff. Totally fine. That's G.
Yeah.
That's fine.
That's all good.
That's fine. It's fine. It's like, no one's, suits of armor aren't real, right?
I mean, yeah, the violence is like a lot less bad if you can't see them bleed. They're probably just bleeding in the armor, really.
It was very, there was no blood. You didn't see any blood at all.
Exactly. It's all contained in the armor suits. That's
There
it.
was not a single drop of blood in that movie. You think about it, not a single drop. Every time they get hit by a sword, they fall into a roll and they hold their guts, and that's it. Pan away.
Yeah, true.
Yep,
You're
no
actually
blood.
right, yeah.
That's a G
Suitable
movie.
for all ages.
That's it. It's like
Yeah.
just a quick side note. It's like James Bond did that for like 20 movies. If he got shot, he'd just like cover the wound and fall down. He never bled. It was only until like Casino Royale when they rebooted it that they actually made him as gruesome as it gets in the books. Till then,
Yeah.
it was like PG-13 across the board.
Yeah, true.
Apart from all the adultery.
I mean, that's just normal.
But yeah, we should talk about Dungeons and Dragons movie because obviously we just saw it and it's fresh in our mind.
Spoiler free, though. We'll be spoiler free.
How do you spoil Dungeons and Dragons?
You tell them the ending.
Okay, there was a dungeon and there was a dragon.
Was there a Actually, well, there was a dragon. Yeah,
Where was the dragon?
there was 2 dragons.
Where was the other dragon? The very big dragon. It was in a dungeon.
It wasn't in a dungeon. That was an underground city.
Okay, all right. We're gonna.
Do you pay attention, or do you just watch the?
Do you not think that
visuals?
underground cities can class as a dungeon?
No, because dungeons are where people are kept captive.
Okay.
It's like a jail.
Okay. Well, there's definitely dungeons. How many jails were there? The opening scene of the movie is a jail.
Yeah, it was a jail.
So that's a dungeon?
No, a dungeon is a jail a dungeon is a jail underground. They were in a
I
jail
feel like
in
Shelby's
a tower.
just fighting for the sake of fighting at the moment.
No, I'm just saying you got to pay more attention.
I am paying attention. I'm saying it's a loose rule. It's not okay. Well,
Jails and dragons.
this one's facing east, so it is not a dungeon. They're not like that. It's close enough.
Okay, I know.
Pretty much anything underground, isn't it?
I'm just going by like Diablo logic, right?
Yeah, true.
If it's full of goons, loot, and caves, it's a dungeon. Shelby's not even going to talk to us anymore. She's done.
No, I don't have to justify my attention to detail.
She's like, I know.
Okay, Webster's dictionary defines.
I got the thesaurus.
You don't need that.
No, I don't need that. I got ChatGPT 4 now. Who needs a thesaurus?
Oh my god! You can ask ChatGPT what a dungeon. Don't even wait. Don't bother because it doesn't
You
matter.
could probably ask ChatGPT, right?
God.
Okay, I shouldn't get on this topic too soon, but to make you like a Dungeons and Dragons campaign.
It's already been done
Oh, okay,
plenty of
never
times.
mind.
In fact, well, no, actually, I won't talk about it because it's not confirmed yet.
But like to generate your characters and stuff.
It has been talked about in circles as content already, weeks ago,
Yes,
months ago,
yes.
even.
Yeah, no, we're late.
Yeah, no, I'm like,
But
yeah,
late to the
circles
party.
that I'm in are talking about it.
Mm.
So yeah, it's a thing that people do. It's cool though, because then you can also, it's almost like a randomizing. Really, you don't know what the fucking ChatGPT is going to say. But anyway, getting back to the movie, I actually I don't know how Shelby felt about it. Actually, I do because
I liked it. I gave an interview.
what do they call it? What do they call it when they want a quote for the box?
Soundbite.
They asked Shelby for a soundbite.
Oh, really?
What did I
Did you say anything?
said? It was good, and I liked it, and it was accessible for everyone, and not just Dungeons and Dragons fans. And the humor.
So when you
was on
see that
point.
little caption on the box, although they probably thought you were going to be like, where you from? You're like, oh, Gizmodo or something like that, and they could put that little caption. You're like, nah, I'm Shelby.
No, they asked me for my Instagram handle, and I was like, first I was like, I don't
Nice.
have Instagram. Wait, no, I do, because I don't use my Instagram, so I gave it to them anyway.
Is
but
it
they didn't
worse
ask.
to have an Instagram and not use it, or just not have an Instagram?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't think
I
it's
don't.
bad. I don't even use mine anymore.
I hate Instagram.
Well, I hate to break it to
I
you,
just use it to
kids,
browse.
but the reason why we get to go to these events is because of my Instagram.
I know it's pumping.
Well, fuck. Okay,
It's
you
set up
should've-
nicely.
Yeah, Instagram is a very powerful tool, and it's changing a lot. They actually just updated the algorithm, and it's kind of fucked. Anyway, Dungeons and Dragons though, thought it was really good. Liked it a lot. I feel like Chris Pine is found a nice little niche. He's
It's
done.
a Chris Pine renaissance.
Well, I feel like
yeah.
he's done some weird kind of action movies and stuff like that. And I don't really think he plays the serious character very well. He plays that
No.
bumbling idiot too well.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it was. But I actually enjoyed because I mean the last medieval thing that I watched was Lord of the Rings, I guess. The
Yeah.
Power of the Rings, whatever it is.
Oh
What's
yeah,
that?
yep,
What's that?
yep.
The Amazon
The
show?
last one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Power of the Rings.
Rings of Power.
Rings of Power. That's
Rings
it.
of Power. That's
I
it.
don't even like Lord
Yeah,
of the Rings,
that's
and
it.
I knew that.
That entire show, now that I like look back at it, that entire show was very doom and gloom. Like everyone's like, the world's ending. We need to do what we can here. I hate you, and you hate me. Everyone hates each other. We're gonna have to be hating each other because everyone's gonna die. You come to this movie, and it's just like everything's basically a joke the entire way through, and I actually love it. It reminds me of like Robin Hood, like back in the '90s, Robin Hood, like Men in Tights, and
Yeah, yep.
those like all those kind of not campy, but just fun kind of movies.
Yeah.
I'm kind of on board for some more of that shit, to be honest. I feel like
Definitely it felt like invested in the characters too, even though it was a fun.
well, I want to
like,
double
jokey
down
show.
because I also want to say, if you try and think of another movie that's like fun and like family friendly and like has substance to it, like when I was growing up, there was like Jurassic Park and Robin Hood, and like there was medieval, there was dinosaurs, there was Transformers, there was all the like kids today. What do they get? Bluey? That's it.
Hell
Bluey.
yeah, Bluey! Woo!
That's it. What else do they get? They haven't got anything else going on.
Paw Patrol.
Everything's too
Yeah, Paw Patrol and
Paw
Bluey.
Patrol's big.
Dogs.
Yeah, dogs. Dogs are in for kids. My nephews tell me that.
My point is that you should give them a reason to get a sword, and I feel like movies like this,
You
more
want
of them.
you heard it here first. He wants to arm children with sharp swords.
Yes,
Mhm,
yes, I do. Absolutely, every kid should have a sword. I think we talked about this only recently.
I
That'd be
think
fun.
we did.
Yeah, we definitely talked about how everyone should have a sword.
Mm.
But yeah, no, it was good, and it was also there was a lot of lore. Like they didn't shy away from the D&D lore, which is nice because I think they've made like Dungeons and Dragons-esque movies before, and they always kind of just go, it's an excuse to make a medieval film. And then they just make a medieval film and slap the title on it. Where this one, they really lent into a lot of the terms and the logic and the nerdiness side of things, which was good. Definitely would have just went straight over the head of any child that has no idea what D&D is, but there was enough normal stuff in there for kids as well to sort of be, oh yeah, I get this. That's a dragon, that's fire. These people are dead. Now they're not. Just simple stuff like that. But it was good. Definitely some. So paint the picture. So like the cinema was pretty much full. And all the cosplayers that were, doing the night stuff, plus all the cosplayers' friends that were also there, they all came in late because they had like a reserved area. It was very front, sort of left of the cinema. There was noticeably more laughter and like just hype coming out of that corner of the cinema than the rest of the cinema. Like there was definitely inside jokes that
Because they knew all the references.
they knew all the references, and
Yeah.
they were just fucking loving it.
I knew some of them, like the city names and things are actually D&D
Yeah,
lore.
yeah.
Like Neverwinter is the main city it takes place in, and Neverwinter is part
They
of D&D.
definitely
Baldur's Gate was in there. Everyone knows Baldur's Gate from the games.
Yeah, they definitely used all the city names. They used the creatures. They used the classes. They used like the magic, the spells, and
The
stuff
clans.
like that. The
yeah.
clans, all that sort of stuff. All that was all tied in lore, which was really nice. So I think that was really good. And also just, and I'd like to see kind of more like a behind the scenes thing, but it's felt like a lot of the characters, like the creatures, they were more puppets than CGI, which is always good to see. Just the way they moved and operated. I know, I think Shelby, you might have missed the bit because you popped out for a sec, but it was like a moment when there's like a cat person, and it was definitely just a person in a cat suit, and it's like, okay, I'm kind of more
yeah,
for
I
it.
missed that one.
Yeah, so
Dang it, I missed the cat person. I want to see the furry.
it was when the guy that everyone thinks is hot pulled the baby cat out of a fish.
Roche Sean Page?
That person.
He is hot. He's yummy.
I'm glad they made him really dumb.
He's not dumb. He's very literal. Like he just takes everything they say literally. He's like that guy's a son of a bitch. Oh,
Like,
wait,
this guy's
his mother-
too good looking. We can't let him be too good looking. We're gonna have to make him.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to bring him down a notch.
His fight scenes were great though.
He played overpowered paladin, and yeah, he was absolutely. But no, it was good. I really did enjoy it. I hope that I hope they don't go too crazy, but they should make more movies and like flesh out like different cities and different creatures and kind of lore and stuff. I reckon I could
Yes.
get into it, but
Oh, yeah, there's definitely going to be a sequel to that.
I think so. I think I remember reading that there's nothing like set in stone, but if it makes money, they will make more. Basically, it's pretty much where they went to on that. So, yeah. Any other thoughts, Shelby, on the film?
It's good. Just had a good time, and it was like one of the first movies in a while that I've actually heard people applause once it finished.
True.
There
Oh,
was people
nice.
clapping and cheering, which is
I've
something
never
I
had
don't
that.
think I've experienced that. Yeah.
Never had that.
No.
I've had a few. Definitely had a few. I think
People were so happy.
I've had two distinct ones. I can't remember both. One was The Illusionist, which was a what's his name?
Is that Bale?
No. So this is the thing, right? So this came out at the same time as Bale's movie, The Prestige. This was Edward Norton's one.
Yeah.
And so I went and saw Edward Norton's one.
Yeah.
I went and saw both like back to back, like one night, one the next. And I went and saw the Edward Norton one, and at the end there was a standing ovation for it. It didn't deserve it. It wasn't that good. But I wasn't going to be the only one sitting down. I really like The Prestige. That was a good one. I showed Shelby that one.
That's mad. I love that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. And there was another one that was, and this is more of a horrific scenario. Same cinema, funny enough. But I went and saw My Sister's Keeper. You know that one, Shelby?
I do know that one. I have read the book.
Yes.
I haven't seen the film, actually.
It seems like everyone's read the book, which I have not, because I don't really bother with books, to be honest.
It has some big changes.
The lining up to go into the movie, there was all these women. And when I say all these women, I was the only man. And there was a room full of women, and they were all like, "Get your tissues, ladies. We're going to be crying tonight." And I'm like, "What is this movie about?" Because what is this movie about? Anyway, it's about I'm pretty sure the whole movie's like, there's a girl who's dying of cancer, and she needs the body parts from her sister, and her sister decides to sue her parents because she doesn't want to give her body parts to her dying sister.
Effectively like done through IVF to be born to be a perfect
approximately
like,
3 minutes. 3 minutes into the movie, just tears, just constant tears in the whole cinema. It was the entire movie.
Really?
Yeah, it was fucked.
I actually have read a lot of Jodie Picoult books because that's the original author. I have to say, reflecting back on that, is Jodie Picoult's books are all it's all sad porn for middle-aged women.
No, that's the term. That's the term. Sad porn, right?
Sadness porn.
Apparently, all the women that were there, they were just like, I just really need a good cry. So I'm here to have a good cry.
They want to feel something.
I feel they like want to bawl their eyes out.
And the stories are all like really dramatic, and now I think about them as well. Like they're not well written or characterized. There's like this one about a girl who like gets sexually abused by her father, and like it's like really like shock value stuff to really like shock and make people cry and stuff. But like at the end of the day, the points of the books and things like that, they're not great books.
Well, I'm never going to forget that movie personally, just because
of all the crying people.
It was such an awkward situation to be in.
Did you join in?
No, fuck no. It was like it was really well acted. The writing was very like it's just very see through. Like you knew what they were aiming for.
Yeah.
You know, they just I hate it when there's obviously an ulterior motive. Like they're just trying to do you in anyway. It's a really nice cinema. It's an old theater, and it's just fucking gorgeous cinema that they have there. And I used to do a lot of premieres and stuff there. And I remember. I took my old man there once to go see Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull. And there was this bloke 2 rows in front of us, and about half an hour into it, his head was slumped straight back, and he was just snoring so loud. It was so loud. And I went and just nudged him and said, "Hey, mate." And he's like, "What?" I'm like, "You snoring." Like, "Oh, okay." And then he said nothing, and then 10 minutes later, he's snoring again. I'm like, "Come on, man. It's like, seriously.
Right, come on. Wrecking my immersion.
I mean, it's Crystal Skull. It wasn't a great movie. Anyway. But yeah, so speaking of movies, obviously Dungeons and Dragons comes out 30th.
30th, yeah.
And a lot
of this month or next month?
This month.
So 2 weeks.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, it seems really good. I really liked it. I thought it was good. I'm a bit of a slut for that kind of medieval stuff anyway, but in terms of just quality and stuff like that, they didn't half-ass it. That's what I was concerned about. I was concerned that it was going to be a cash grab. Like they slapped Dungeons and Dragons, get a payment, and away they go. But they obviously spent some time on it and actually had some desire to do some good by the name. So that was good. let's talk about the other movie because I really want to bring up some shit about this
I
other
know
movie.
you want to bring it up. I have to preface this by saying it's Shazam 2, and I liked it. But go ahead. What do you have to say about it?
Shazam 2 is better than Shazam 1.
Yes.
Yep, good. All right, so now that we got that out of the way. No, we got invited to Shazam, Fury of the Gods through Warner Brothers, who have been inviting us to all the DC stuff. Because they reached out for DC fans or just sort of fans of pop culture or whatever, and we whacked their hands up. And they've been really nice to us, invite us along and stuff like that. It's kind of a weird one because they've had it in the barrel for a long time, and in the process of like Shazam 2 being finished filming, they brought out Black Adam, and then The Rock did The Rock stuff, and then they basically tipped all the toys out of the cot, said, James Gunn, you're in charge now. What toys do you want? And he's kept Shazam because I think Zachary Levi does a really good job of playing the Shazam character. And I feel like the movies themselves have always been restricted because they're kind of been told to be, family friendly and whatever. And that's fine. So if I go, let's start off by saying, went into the movie, thought it was quite good. Some absolute banger jokes in there. Very lighthearted and they did a lot of more action stuff in it. Helen Mirren did all her own stunts. No, I don't think so. It's kind of weird to see her like in fighting scenes and stuff like that. I'm like, that's an old woman. Like she's not. But I honestly kept saying the line to myself, like, I bet she does her own stunts.
She's fantastic though. She never misses. I love her so much.
She
And
never
Lucy Liu
misses.
as well.
And
Lucy
Liu
Liu is
as
a
well.
goddess.
But Lucy Liu's done like full-on action movies. I don't think Helen Mirren's ever been in an action movie.
No.
I don't think so. But yeah, anyway, so it's all good. Movie was quite good. It's very DC, and they definitely weave some threads in to go into what James Gunn's working on. Slight spoilers, but not really spoilers because everyone sort of expects where it's going anyway. But like they had a post-credit scene, and it shows a few characters from the other James Gunn, the Peacemaker.
Yeah.
Brought them in, which I didn't even realize, but the blonde girl's actually James Gunn's wife.
Oh,
so,
wow.
To say that James Gunn didn't have a hand in this post-credit scene would be a reach because he literally put his wife in the movie. So, and it's kind of building that universe sort of thing. And I think it's to leave the door open for, they're doing like an Amanda Waller kind of Black Task Force Justice Society kind of series coming up.
Yeah.
So I think that's where they left that out on there. But so they've obviously altered and fiddled with the movie leading into the new DCU. Anyway, not what I wanted to talk about. What I wanted to talk about is there's a certain thing that happens in the movie. And it starts off, all right, so it's product placement, first of all. And it's Skittles.
I hate that I didn't realize it at the time.
Right?
Really.
So I didn't realize
funny.
it until it literally, look, let's just level here.
It's an ad.
No, shut up.
Oh.
The product placement is okay until it literally takes down its pants and slaps you across the face. It says, ad. This is an ad. And let me explain. So Skittles is the product, right? What has Skittles got to do with fucking Shazam? Nothing.
Fucking nothing.
All right. It starts off, there's like, in all the scenes, they're eating Skittles at the start. Like they're kids when they're not, super powered. So there's like a bowl of Skittles here and stuff like that. And then it goes to, there's another scene when they're sorting Skittles because they only like certain flavors. And it's like, okay, I guess they're just going to run with this.
The kid, and she's also got like a little diorama with little unicorns as well.
That's we'll get to, hang on, just slow down. Let me go through this because it ramps up and then it just slaps you in the face. Because then, if you remember, then there's a line where the woman comes down, the older sister comes down. She's like, why did you put Skittles in my pockets? And then they make a joke how she was grouchy, and they're like, that's why I gave him Skittles. I'm like, why are they talking about Skittles so fucking much?
Mm-hmm.
Then there's a scene where they capture Helen Mirren's character for reasons, and they try to feed her Skittles because they like her. So they give her a big bowl of Skittles. And then when she escapes, because that, villains always do, they spill the Skittles, and there's this big zoom in on Skittles. And I'm like, this is getting a little too much, right? Then there's another scene when they're all talking and they're sitting around in their little base and they're eating Skittles, and that's all fine. And then oh, this hurts to say. So then there's this whole thing where there's all these demons coming into the world, and they're like, okay, well, the only way to fight demons is with unicorns. Something they set up earlier in the
The
in the
king
show.
of beasts, they call it.
Whatever. And then they're like, oh, we need a really sweet mythical food to feed the unicorns to tame them. That's the only way to tame them because they're horrible people, well, horrible unicorns, horrible creatures otherwise. So they go and they find the unicorns anyway, and then when the unicorns start charging at them, she throws Skittles at them. And I kid you not, throws a huge pile of Skittles at these unicorns, stares down the barrel of the camera and goes, taste the rainbow.
The justification for the Skittles is because it's meant to be like ambrosia, which is what the magical equivalent to Skittles apparently is.
They spend approximately, 2-3 minutes just going, taste the rainbow over and over again in slow motion feeding unicorns Skittles. I'm not even joking. It is.
I didn't realize it was an ad. I feel
because
stupid.
It was so stupid when they started repeating themselves over and over again, going, taste the rainbow.
It was just like, it's just a kid who likes unicorns, and this is just her like bringing unicorns, and they're like so cute, like whatever. It's a Skittles ad.
It's a Skittles ad. It's like,
why do I want to eat some Skittles after this movie?
There was so many Skittles in that whole fucking movie. They didn't even need to do the unicorn. I already wanted to eat Skittles, but they had to stop and go, taste the rainbow. Taste the rainbow. And like they're not even denying that it's product placement. Skittles tweeted out that they're like, yo, Skittles are good for unicorns now. And it's definitely a handshake deal where they probably paid for half the fucking movie. It's insanity. It's so jarring now when it's like, it was so cringy when you see it. I'm just like, oh man, this show must just fucking love fucking Skittles. But no, it's definitely just an ad. And it's when they say taste the rainbow is like, nah, that would have cost them probably $100 million easily.
Mm-hmm.
So, oh man. And I'm not kidding. Stares down the camera and just says it in slow motion while throwing Skittles through the air. Mind you, around them, all these sick beasts are in this huge post-apocalyptic battle in the streets. But no, we spend 3 minutes with Skittles.
And
anyway.
they basically cut to that battle being over.
Because they waste all their time on Skittles.
They cut from the unicorns eating Skittles to them riding the unicorns to the monsters being cornered by the unicorns to them just showing up at the end of the movie. It's like done. That's it.
Yep. There was lots of good stuff and lots of funny stuff, but honestly, that brought the movie down for me, that particular scene.
I don't mind
stuff.
It.
And
should have just why didn't they give us Skittles at the premiere? They should have given us some Skittles.
Yeah, they should have.
Yeah. I would have liked that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. We talked about when we went and saw Cocaine Bear. It was like, oh, fuck, what are they going to give us? They gave us cocaine. Not actual cocaine, obviously. But, they gave us cocaine. It's like, what are you going to get from a Shazam thing? Skittles, I guess.
Skittles. Yeah, taste the rainbow.
There wasn't booze. We didn't get any alcohol.
Listen, for $100 million, we will say taste the rainbow as every second word for this podcast, all right? I guarantee you that we
I'd do
will
it
do
for
$5.
I can't turn down money in this economy.
But yeah, it's interesting. So on one hand, it feels like they made the movie and then they were like, oh, I'm not sure if this is going to make profit, make money, because they need to make money. Otherwise, it's going to be a big flop. So they probably just took a dump truck full of money from Skittles to offset what possible losses they could make out of this movie. And now they're good. They're profitable. And away they go. And it's not the first time. There's many, many movies that do this. I remember, actually, Casino Royale's a great one, where he prefers a Heineken over a martini at one point. Just once.
That's weird.
That's all.
Just once.
But also, I mean, that movie, MGM, which is owned by Amazon now, I think, brought him out eventually. But MGM were going broke, and the only way they could make these Bond films was just packing them full of product placement. And that's where, if Austin Martin didn't come to the fucking party with his car, they went to BMW. That pays the bills. He uses a Sony phone, a Sony camera, and a Sony laptop. Pays the bills. Heineken pays the bills.
As well, with all their tech is Sony as well, maybe. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know about that with Mission Impossible, but there was another one. I know that the new Power Rangers has, I think it's Subway or something in there. And it's awful. And I haven't seen the movie, but I just remember people going, it's fucking weird. Uncharted is a great one, right? So we watched Uncharted not that long ago. Remember when they're looking for a tomb and then they're like, oh, the tomb's not here, but it's a Papa John's now. And then they go into Papa John's and they have a
Oh,
fight
yeah,
scene
yeah,
inside
yeah,
of
yeah.
Papa John's.
So wild.
It's like, yeah, I wonder what they're doing. There was another one. So I watched this video the other day and I was talking about like the worst ones. World War Z, right? Brad Pitt. That movie was in development hell forever. And again, I think they just wanted to offset them costs. Right at the end of the movie, like as he's like finishing and he's got the cure and trying to head out, he stops to have a Pepsi. He stops at a vending machine, has a Pepsi, and then continues on. And it's an ad. It's an ad at that point. It's like 30 seconds of stop the movie, drink a Pepsi, pay for the ad. Away you go. Taste the rainbow, everybody. Taste the rainbow.
How much are they paying you?
Not enough.
No.
But see, the only other there's a movie that I did want to bring up, which is it's worse than that Shazam one. And I don't know if you've ever seen the movie Evolution with David Duchovny. It was like his breakout after X-Men. They're like, oh my god, David Duchovny's making movies now. It's gonna be amazing. Anyway, it's about an aliens. There's X-Men, I guess. It's definitely not pigeonholed into anything. And then these big aliens come to Earth. I don't know. It's a terrible movie. Don't watch it. It's like a 4 out of 10. Anyway, they're trying to figure out the weakness of the aliens, and they discover that the only way that they can get rid of the aliens is with Head and Shoulders. Not
That's
even
The shampoo.
the shampoo.
I hate that.
They fill like fire trucks with Head and Shoulders, and they go fight the aliens with Head and Shoulders. It's not even
Oh
a
my
joke. That's
God.
real. That's part of the movie. They say it with a straight face. They say it straight to your face. Head and Shoulders gets rid of dandruff and aliens, apparently. But yeah, same deal though. I think they just realized they were onto a real shit movie, and they just need to pay the bills. So where they went.
I think that's
Their
just the
little
thing.
life vest, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like from my little time that I spent in TV, part of like that they have entire departments to make like making TV neutral, basically. So they will just go, okay, well, this show is going to cost me $1 million. We need to go raise $1 million in sponsorships through product placement and everything else, and they do it, and then some a lot of the time.
And a lot of it could be subtle. It could be like Nike shoes, could be phone brands, could be whatever.
I mean, we watched iRobot. Do you remember the shoes in
Yeah,
iRobot?
he's into Converse.
Yeah, but not only that, it's a movie set in the future, so he's into retro Converse from the shoes that come out in the present for us.
Mm.
Because he can't be wearing shoes we can't buy.
No, of course not. It always has to be retro. No futuristic ones in sight.
It's blatant. I don't care. Like Bond's a great example where he has a Rolex, he drives an Aston Martin, and he has a martini. It's just part of the brand. And it just fits in with his story. It's never intrusive.
Heineken doesn't fit in with his story.
Well, I mean, yes and no, but also the whole thing was that he was in a really shit mood, so he's not going to act like Bond at that point. It's also his origin story. So it's like he's like, because they asked him if he wants a martini shaken, not stirred. He's like, I don't give a fuck.
Just give me the Heineken.
So I don't mind if if it means we get movies, whatever, do it. But Taste the Rainbow was too much. That was too much.
Now I want to eat some Skittles. It
Don't
worked.
do it. Don't do it.
I'm
Go
gonna
buy
do it.
some
No, I can't
Smarties.
do it. I'm not going to buy any.
Go buy
I'm
the
good. I'm not gonna buy
competition.
any, Lily.
Buy the competition. They'll be like, I'm just tasting the rainbow. And they'll be like, fucking wrong rainbow.
Yeah.
This rainbow's sweet.
But yeah, so it's so Shazam was a movie. It was fine. Again, like it was good to watch a movie that wasn't so serious. And it was fine in that aspect, but
I
definitely
also have been enjoying seeing movies that are not 3 hours long.
true.
Like 2 hours is good. 2 hours 10 minutes. I think both of those last films we watched were, and I feel like that's my limit before I mentally check out. I like the 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm the same.
Cocaine Bear was like an hour and a half, and that was really nice actually.
That was fucking awesome. I love seeing an hour and a half. Got my fix for a movie. Got my cocaine. Got out of there.
It's interesting. And I feel like I think Marvel's learning this the hard way because they're like going, okay, well, we're not going to make 8 episodes of a Marvel Plus show, or Marvel, whatever the fuck it's called, Disney Plus show, anymore because no one's going to watch them all. It's like we should be making proper, well thought out movies instead of movies that tie into, I guess, what you have to watch this odd movie, that Disney Plus series, and this webcomic to know what the fuck's going on.
Or you just watch a new Rockstar's video on YouTube that'll explain it all.
Yeah, well, you know what? This actually kind of brings me to two topics that I want to talk about. One we'll get to in a second, but before we get to that one, The Last of Us is finished. I don't know if you watched The Last of Us. Did you, Tam? You
Yeah,
got
I
on board with
did.
that?
It's
Uh,
good. It was good.
It was good.
Fucking nailed it, in my opinion.
Amazing.
People were like, "Oh, it was a bit rushed or whatever." I'm like, yes and no. Like I mean, they cut out. There's one scene that they cut out that's in the game, which I kind of wish they kept into the show.
Which one?
Which is in that last level is when you go into the sewers, and then there's just water and bloaters and just fucking mayhem, and it's not easy.
Yeah, I feel there was like not enough
And that whole
infected
thing is
content, and that would have been.
well,
a good
it's
spot.
not even the infecting content because the whole thing of that is that Ellie can't swim because she grew up, in this fucking lockdown, and she ends up almost drowning, and that's when the guards find you. Is when you're trying to resuscitate Ellie. That's in the game, where they kind of just breezed over that.
They didn't put that in.
So it was they didn't just do it. I feel like that was almost like it was just constraints. Like that would have added an extra month or 2 months or 3 months into development.
And a lot of more money.
And a
into
lot
the
more money
development.
when it's a first season. So I think they just kind of
Yeah.
shied away from it. And it does it adds to it. It does add to the story and everything, but it adds minor. Like it's not huge stuff. But I feel like it was really good. I feel like I was a bit concerned how we're not going to spoil, so we'll just kind of vaguely talk about it. But like in the game, the ending requires you to murder a lot of people. And I was like, they haven't killed many people at all, or infected for that matter. So how are they going to do that ending? And they definitely did it in their own way, and I liked it a lot. I did enjoy there was a meme. They were like, fucking, you got a kill streak at the end.
Yeah, he was
Yeah.
just popping off.
So it was good. I really liked it. And I think they nailed that final tone because people are like, oh, the whole thing, the ending is this, this, and this. The ending of the game and the show is the conversation right at the end, and it has so many layers, and it's so kind of fucked.
Mhm.
And
Very fucked.
I just remember playing the game for the first time, and I got to that conversation at the end, and just that I'm just going, well, that's not good. That doesn't feel good.
It's like if I could QuickTime this conversation, I would do it differently.
It's like no, but you're not though, because you paint yourself in the corner. Seriously, but I love that they nailed the tone there, and because you think about Shelby, you haven't played the second game yet.
I haven't, but I've seen people play it fairly
Yeah,
recently.
but also it's big, and there's time skips, and there's character changes, and all sorts of stuff. It's a huge
Lots of
undertaking,
perspective switching. Yeah.
and it's darker. Like this is what people don't get as well. They're like, "Wow, that's kind of fucked up." And I guess it's not really about the infected; it's about the people, because I mean, it's called The Last of Us, the people.
The people are the
The
monsters.
people are the monsters, and my
They
god,
always are.
people were like, I just saw this great tweet. Like, that was the happy season.
Yep. People are like, oh my god, David was so fucked up in like that episode.
Nothing compared to the
And
next season.
nothing
Next
compared to
season's
what you're gonna see.
fucked. It's so fucked.
But I have seen some people, if you've played The Last of Us 2, some people may know what I'm talking about. People are like, I'm really worried about them recreating the boat scene in the TV show.
Boat
Because
scene?
people hate the boat scene. You don't know what the boat scene is?
Which one's the boat scene?
With Abby on the boat with the guy?
Oh, that is fucked. Yeah, no.
It's very graphic, so people are really worried about
I'll
it.
do
Because
it.
people fucking hate that scene
I'll
because they
do
don't
it,
think it
'cause
added
it's-
anything to the game, and I
I-
think it added a bit to her characterization. I think it was
the thing
good,
with the game is, like, we're not going to go into spoilers. We'll just keep it very broad, right? But the Last of Us 2 paints Abby, basically introduces you to Abby as a villain, then spends the entire time making you feel more for Abby's side.
yeah,
But you also play Allie as well as Abby, and like there's some of the greatest scenes is you go through an area as Allie and you fucking kill everyone because you are a bitch and you hate everyone.
you were
You hate the
pissed,
world.
you were done.
And then the next, like straight away, you'll play Abby going through the same area, and there'll just be corpses everywhere. And she'll be like, "Who did this?" And I'm like, "That was me, baby." And it does so the whole game. And I remember when we played it as soon as it came out and played it all the way through. And I remember going, I don't know who the fucking good guys are anymore because you're playing multiple characters and they're all fucking the worst. They are awful humans, all of them. And I think that's where the show's going to go. But they have already said that like it's going to be more than one season because they can't fit it into one season.
Mhm.
And I reckon they'll do They'll do a lot for that first season, but I reckon like some of those heavy beats will probably be stretched out a little bit in that first season, and because literally the game kind of ends 3 times over. Like it gets to it, and you go, okay, well that's a satisfying conclusion, and then it just
It's like, but wait, there's more.
but wait, 3 months later, we're gonna fucking start some more shit real quick, and then it's like, oh god, this better be quick, and it is quick, but then it's like, oh, it's just fucking, it's well written, and a lot of people are like, okay, well, where's our Last of Us 3? And Neil Druckmann came out last week even, and he was just like, listen, our process is that when we finish a game, we all sit around and we pitch all our games and everything else. And, they do obviously Uncharted as well and stuff like that. And like, we know roughly what we want to do for like season 3 or part 3 of The Last of Us. But when it got to the point when we had to start development on our next game, we didn't opt in for part 3. So it's not part 3 that's coming next. They're not going to say what they're working on next. Having said that, we have got a Last of Us multiplayer game coming.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're going to get that info later this year. So I reckon that'll be like, well, E3, even though Sony's not going to E3, but E3, I think around that time, we'll probably Summer Games Fest or something. Probably get a proper announcement. And like, if anyone's ever played the first Last of Us multiplayer, it's fucking brutal. I'm all for it. It's going to be good. So if they do anything similar to that, I'm totally on board. But that brings me, so with that, just to give you some ideas. So I think like the first few episodes were around that 4 or 5 million viewers. And then episode 3 of The Last of Us, the very gay one, got those numbers pumped right up, even though people were like, oh my God, it's gay. Oh, it's like, yeah, it's a lot of that. Did really well. So get wrecked, everyone, I guess. And then it was like sitting like 8 million, I think, for fucking like the second last episode. The last episode nearly topped 12 million viewers, which is
it's pretty mental. Yeah.
Shit, man.
To give you some perspective, and to segue into my next comment, Mandalorian did like 2 million. So it's beating Star Wars.
It's pretty nuts. I'm
Easily
excited.
beating Star Wars.
I'm excited for what this means for like them doing more good game adaptations.
Yes and no. I mean, the next one Sony's got to work on is God of War. Which, I mean, people are like, oh, well, do they really adopting these because like they're basically movies? And I mean, God of War is basically a movie, but also God of War is a 50-hour movie. So good luck to you. Because that shit is it's gonna be wild. There's a lot. I think from a like a studio point of view, they can see that they can make money on it, but I think from like actually developing this stuff, like, hell, shit, if we make these good, they could actually do really well. So, going back to the Dungeons & Dragons thing, if you try, rather than just sort of cash grab, maybe you can make some decent money out of it, so on. Anyway, the reason why I wanted to talk about Star Wars Mandalorian, first of all, new season's fucking sick. It's doing really well. Made me completely forget about the Book of Boba Fett, so that's good.
I liked the Book of Boba Fett a little bit.
I liked everything except for the spin. And the fact that it was just kind of, they made him such a pussy.
No.
They really did.
Nah, I think he's still good. I think he's.
They also made that weird decision to make like 3 episodes of Mandalorian in the middle of Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, that's a bit. I think that was to make people watch the Book of Boba Fett.
Okay, pacing, writing, directing. The Mandalorian nails it, and all the other Star Wars shows are just not there. With the exception of Andor, but Andor's like, if I like this show, my dad's gonna like Andor, kind of thing. Like it's made for the mature audience. And
I liked Kenobi.
Kenobi was fine, but I think Kenobi and Darth Vader, like fucking Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen, they carried that whole show.
Yes.
But then but this is my point. Then you go back to child Leia in the weird chase sequence in the woods, and you're like, what the fuck is this? Or the weird face-off when they first meets Vader and he kind of just runs away, even though they're out in the open and doesn't have anywhere to run to. It's kind of just weird things like that. It's like they haven't thought it through. Anyway, so Jon Favreau's been going around doing a lot of media stuff, promoting The Mandalorian, obviously, and a lot of YouTubers, like those deep dive YouTubers that do like Easter egg hunts and whatever, have been gotten the chance to do like interviews with him. And Jon Favreau himself has said, "Hey, I actually watch your shit. Like I watch all your Easter eggs and your breakdowns and stuff. Because sometimes you will think that things are coming, and I'll go, "Oh, that's actually a better idea than what I had coming." and anyway, like he's listening to the fans. Is my point. Like Jon Favreau is just one of the boys. He's like getting in the weeds and like listening to the fans and using them as a gauge of, yeah, you're going the right way, you're not going the right way. Like he does it right. Where I feel like Kenobi and stuff like that, it was almost like a show made by a panel. Like, okay, well, we need another Star Wars to fit this slot so people won't unsubscribe. Let's go dig deep here and chuck a pile of money at it and see what comes out. Where Mandalorian, they're on a path. There's a story. They're going to do it. And I think from all accounts, it's when they get to the Ahsoka series, everything's going to come to that peak. And just to give you an idea, like Star Wars, they cancelled all their movies. They got no movies in development. Not a single one.
What did they have in development that they've cancelled?
Patty Jenkins had a Rogue Squadron movie.
Yeah, that's okay.
What's his name? Who did the second? Ryan Johnson had a trilogy in the works. A whole new galaxy, whole new thing set in universe. And there was one other one as well. I think. I can't remember. But they were all announced years ago, and they're all going in development, like early development, and they just said no, it's not working. It's not working. Go. If you can't do what Mandalorian and what Andor's done, you don't do it, basically. So, and I kind of agree with that. But at the same time, they need to be pumping out Star Wars shit because people need to be watching Star Wars shit to buy the toys, to fucking subscribe to the Disney Plus, to buy the games, everything else. Yeah. And I mean, we've got Jedi Survivor in like 3 weeks. And if you haven't played Jedi Fallen Order, what the fuck are you doing? First of all, have you played it, Tony?
No.
You should play it.
Should I be playing it?
You know why you should play it?
What the fuck am I doing,
It's
man?
the Dark Souls of fucking Star Wars. I'm not gonna play it.
So no, you know what though? It's like Dark Souls and Metal Gear Solid. It's in that similar sort of like it's almost open world, but it's open galaxy. You can go and you just go. Like you'll enter a room and there'll be all these bad guys in there, and you're like, okay, well I can go sneak in, or I can use force tricks or whatever, or whatever. But then every now and then you'll get in the room and there'll be a guy there, and he's like, I know your fucking tricks, and I'm gonna have to fight you, and you're gonna actually have to like parry, dodge, and shit. And it's like Dark Souls, and it's fucking wild. And the story's good, like it's really good, like it's a true Star Wars good story. But I was just so surprised that I'm used to like if you play like Jedi Outcast and stuff like that, you just fucking just destroy everything. You just force push the world away, and it's no worries at all. Where this is like, no, you can't do that. You got to fight, and we're gonna make this shit hard, and you're gonna have like. You have the the Inquisitors chasing you down, and they fucking just they just hunt you down, and it's great. And I don't want to spoil the ending, but the ending had me going, holy shit, this is great.
That's mad.
And the second game comes out soon. It's all still within lore and whatever else, and everyone's sort of breaking it down, going, this guy's got to have to cross over into live action at some point. Like, it's got to cross over with the main character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he has a face actor too. So.
Well, his little droid, whatever his droid is called, that showed up in Mandalorian, and they're like,
yeah,
it's here. This is guaranteed. Then it's absolute guaranteed that this guy's coming to the show. No, he's just droid came in every now and then. That's all. That's it. And but yeah, and the actor is great. He's really good as well. He does he actually does a lot of Let's Play content himself. Like he's a gamer.
Oh man.
So when they like said, hey, you want to be in a game? He's like, yeah, cool. He's like, yeah, you want to be in Star Wars? It's like, fuck yeah, let's go. So, yeah, it's a really good game, and it plays really well. And it's just it's such a refreshing, like it's not a cash grab game. Like we played through, what was it? It was Jedi Outcast 2, I think. No, was it Outcast? What's the one where you're the secret apprentice?
Oh, you were playing Jedi Force Unleashed.
Force Unleashed, that's it.
Not Jedi, Force Unleashed. It's just
and
Star Wars.
There's nothing of substance in there. Like there's some good lore, but it's all like
it's very minor, and it's very it is entirely retconned and entirely.
It almost reads like a fan fiction. Kind of weird.
It 100% is. It's like Vader's secret apprentice who turned into a Jedi and got a girlfriend, and they pashed before the final battle, and then she died, and it was sad. It's 100% like fan fiction.
Yeah, it's so. But then like I feel like Fallen Order, what they've done is like built into that whole thing. It's the same with what's the other one? The first person shooter that they do, Battlefront. There's a whole campaign in Battlefront. And,
no one cares about the campaign in Battlefront. You only do the campaign to unlock skins.
Well, hang on a fucking second, because the whole campaign is canon and it's lore, and it's actually builds on Luke's lore, because Luke shows up in there.
I
So
see.
it's actually important. Like they went straight up and said we're going to be important to the whole thing.
You know, it was the best Star Wars game, the Lego one, the recent one.
Okay.
That was good.
It's just everything in Lego.
That was sick. Fuck yeah, why not?
Before we move on to what we need to talk about, I did just see something. Remember how we talked about how Ant-Man is shit? Wait, sorry. Ant-Man's good, but everyone thinks it's shit. Ant-Man's currently sitting on like a 47 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Is that better or worse than it was?
And Taste the Rainbow is sitting on 53. I'm sorry. I mean, Shazam is sitting on 53.
Shazam is 53.
So the
world's
Skittles ad is better than Ant-Man, apparently. Not.
Yeah, okay,
It's so
right.
fucking
Weird.
It's so weird. It's like like we're watching through X-Men at the moment, right? And everyone knows that X-Men, the third one in particular, is garbage. Like
It was garbage. I hated watching it.
Yeah, so that's a 57. So that's 10 points higher than Ant-Man.
There's no consistency in Rotten Tomatoes. It can't be used.
Yeah, there's not.
These days.
We skipped over X-Men Origins because I was just like, it's not good. Like it's got Gambit in it for like 5 minutes. And that's kind of cool, but that's it. Will.i.am plays a character in there. It's weird. Anyway, that's 38. It's a 38 on Rotten Tomatoes. It's a big yikes. However, our next movie we have to watch is X-Men Apocalypse. Watched Days of Future Past last night. Pretty good. I like Days of Future Past. I thought it was decent. Apocalypse is 47, so it's as good as Ant-Man.
Yay!
So, I don't know. It's kind of weird. Days of Future Past scored a solid 90. So
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
that's big. I remember it was a big undertaking though, because that was connecting the old cast to the new. So that's got like an easy 10 points extra nostalgia hit on there. I'm getting old fucking Patrick Stewart back, even though he died in the third movie, but they just don't address that. They just go, no, it didn't happen.
Just bring him back.
The whole scene where he blows up in the lounge room. Anyway, it's that time of the week, Shelby, where we need to talk about towns. We didn't get to talk about
Everyone's
them.
favorite segment, because I didn't get to talk about it last week because we were on stage in public and I didn't want to say words. We're doing a Sht Towns of Australia double feature. So
Hell yeah.
for the week of the 12th of March,
Port Pirie.
Port Pirie is number 10, still shit.
Fuck, is that place ever gonna get off, man?
No, for will.
I think the fact that they hate being called still shit each week just fuels them to put it on there every week.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I feel like the Sht Towns Australia, this double feature will actually help me catch up on what's happened in the last 2 weeks. So I feel like I haven't read enough news lately.
Oh, there's been
except
some
for like
shit.
AI news. Adelaide, South Australia, number 9. Gronk was charged with drink driving in golf buggy allegedly stolen from Mandolian. I don't know what that word says.
Yep. There's nothing more to add to that.
Oh, okay. It's a traditional lands festival thing. Okay, that's even worse. Canberra ACT is number 8. Alleged scooter thief arrested after being caught drink driving with a hand-drawn paper number plate.
Oh, yeah.
A man then was rescued from a lake after being found paddling in circles in a boat with bed, sheet, sail, broomstick, mast, and 1 oar.
Nice.
Homemade
Hell yeah.
He's
boat.
playing Raft and IRL.
Yeah. Toowoomba, Queensland is number 7. Champion racehorse tests positive for cocaine. So cocaine
racehorse.
horse.
Fuck, the horses on it.
Yep.
Wait, was that in Sydney?
That was in Toowoomba in Queensland.
Okay.
Number 6. Also, Queensland is on here a lot in this week.
Oh, Queensland.
Number 6, Bloomfield, Queensland. Drongo gets mauled by a crocodile and his dog eaten after ignoring warning signs. That's just sad.
Oh, I hate that guy taking your dog down there.
Yeah, that's bad ownership. Ipswich, Queensland. A Gronk allegedly sets fire to house, then steals car from man who stopped to help him.
Oh, you dirty dog. You're a dirty dog.
That's
That guy's
awful.
playing GTA.
That is, that's
Fuck
GTA
all these
behaviour.
IRL.
Number 4, Sydney, New South Wales. Pair of thugs bash driver through the sunroof in COVID testing queue.
What?
Then apartment dweller keeps spewing all over people's balconies.
Oh.
Yeah, I saw that.
No.
It's pretty funny because people were like, they think we don't know where it come from.
Where else
You can see where it
Like,
starts.
yeah.
Like, above them, there's nothing, and then it's just spew everywhere. That's chat.
Follow up from like the week before when number 1 was like a woman who made her baby vape. Number 3, this one was Bundaberg, Queensland. A team films herself making her baby sister vape. So I don't know what it is with people making babies vape, but apparently that keeps ending
I
up
guess they
on
thought it
Sht
was
Towns,
cool.
Australia.
They saw it and they were like, hey, yeah, this is great.
Hey, you know that woman who got onto the number 1 spot for making her baby vape? Wouldn't it be funny if we made the baby vape and got onto Sht Towns,
She lost her
Australia?
kid for that.
She did. It's bad. I don't know why this bitch thought it was a good idea to do it again.
Another kid gone.
Yeah. Number
Some
2,
people just
Alice
never learn.
Springs, Northern Territory. 6 vehicles were stolen from Territory Family's office. Oz Post suspends delivery to hundreds of homes following attacks on posties. That's crazy.
Wild West. Oh, Wild North. Yes.
Yeah. But number 1 is Townsville, Queensland. Why is it always Townsville? Cop cars flee after being repeatedly rammed by 3 stolen vehicles. Then, 12 and 15-year-old girls charged after stolen car crashes through school fence. 14 kids are hospitalized with vomiting and diarrhea after eating lollies mixed with a white substance given to them by a school bus driver.
What?
What?
That's fucked. Okay,
That's fucked up.
I'll reread that for you.
Oh, wait, hang
14
on. We need context on what the fuck's going on. Is that like laxatives or something?
Or some other drugs.
Was it
Hang on,
gummy bears? Gummy bears or something?
I've got the article. It was a Blue Water State School. Hang on. The Daily Mail is upset that I have ads blocked.
How dare you? How dare you block them?
I know it's the West.
Beef.
I'm just gonna refresh the page and just scroll further before the pop-up comes down.
What,
That's not letting me.
let's read it out. What was it?
I can't read it because I can't scroll.
No, read out what it was on the Sht Towns.
It doesn't say anything. It just says white powder.
White powder what? So I can Google it.
It's all I googled was 14 kids hospitalized with vomiting and diarrhea after eating lollies.
Okay. Anyway, move on.
Googled a whole sentence. Okay. So back into Sht Towns, Australia for this week. We have again number 10 is
Port
Port
Pirie.
Pirie.
Shit.
Still shit.
Oh, fucking hell, man.
Hang on, hold on. Queensland is at the top of this one as well.
Queenslander.
Shit.
Number 9 was Seymour, Victoria. Middle-aged bogan and his 85-year-old mum caught doing burnout next to a breath testing site.
My man.
That
Breath
is
test this.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh, goodness Christ. All right. And then number 8, Beaconsfield, Tasmania. Gronks caused $1.5 million worth of damage by using a stolen front end loader to break into a mine to steal copper.
Oh yeah. No, that makes sense.
Oh, bro, that's
one way to do
crazy.
it. That's one-
Also, I just double checked with the white substance. They haven't released what it is.
Yeah, I just read it that they're treating the bus as a crime scene and they arrested the fucking driver.
Serves him right.
Yeah, it's just very
Vague
bizarre.
and bizarre.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Number 7, Launceston, Tasmania. Teen allegedly rams a cop car in stolen vehicle, and the Tasmaniac swaps animal piss for his own in attempt to avoid a positive drug test.
Hey man, this is dog piss.
They check for that.
That's so stupid because
Tasmania's
the
on here a
doctors
lot.
know like what enzymes and shit people
Yeah, he's gonna
actually have.
he's gonna be like, "Well, man, you need to see a doctor. This is weird. This is like dog piss."
Yeah.
Oh, that's so funny.
And then number 6 is Burnie, Tasmania. So they had 3 in a row. Penguin requires surgery after being abused by asshole youths. Awful.
Why do they
People
do
are
this?
assholes.
Assholes.
Relating to number 3 as well, which I'll get to. I talked to Eladi about that yesterday, but it was awful as well. Number 5 is Townsville, Queensland, is on here again. Cops lose dangerous distraction device during siege. They also had trespassers in 4-wheel drives fined for causing $50,000 of damage to a nature reserve, and a teen was arrested after kicking a cop in the nuts.
Jesus Christ.
Poor copper.
Yep.
Fuck.
Number 4, Shepparton, Victoria. Daycare centre leaves 3-year-old in a bus for 5 hours.
Oh my God.
But I guess at least he wasn't giving lollies with white substance on them that made him sick.
I mean, it's still pretty bad.
It's very bad.
It's very bad.
I don't want to
Buses
talk
are having
about
a bad
it. If
time.
number 3 is what it is, I don't want to talk about it.
I think we should just say it and then move on because it's awful.
Awful.
And Yeah, so Glenwood, New South Wales, fucked up kids charged after allegedly murdering a cat. It's very bad and very sad.
Yeah, they broke into like they didn't even break in. They went to a neighboring house, saw a cat there, was like, "Fuck you, cat." Went home, masked up, came back, stole the cat, and killed it.
And all of it was caught on camera. Yeah.
For no reason.
Alice Springs, Northern Territory, number 2, premises on highway burgled a day after having 4 cars stolen. Car stolen with a kid in the back seat. And a truck driver could lose an eye after having a rock thrown at him while retrieving aforementioned stolen car.
Christ. The fuck?
Fuck, there's some shit towns out there, man.
Yeah, that's fucked.
Yep. Number 1 this week was Toowoomba, Queensland. Monster Gronk caught on CCTV wanking all over a man's trailer and shoving glass stubby up his ass hours after being released from prison for wanking in a hospital car park while fingering his bumhole, which happened hours after being released from prison for shoving sticks up his bum in public and wanking in a woman's backyard while wearing her underwear. That was all one guy. So
why did they let this guy out?
Don't let him out. He has a problem. Obviously, he has a problem.
Why you let him out? Like, he don't let us in wherever he was as well. They're like, no, that's fine. You know what? You're damn safe.
This is like,
fucking hell.
Do it 2 times, shame on him. Do it 3 times, shame on them for letting him out.
It's not even that.
Doing it.
He manages to do it the same crime in a different way over and over again.
Imagine seeing the guy with the glass, like, he's got a glass bottle this time. Be like,
do it, mate. Don't do it. Don't do it. No.
Bad.
Damn it.
Well, you gonna done it.
So that is the Shit Towns double feature wrap up that we'd missed obviously last week.
Oh my
so
God.
it's pretty fucked up 2 weeks. And
Yeah,
now I
there's
feel
some
like
good ones.
I just want to point out, was there even any Victoria in all that?
No, there was. Yeah, no, I mentioned a few. So there was obviously the one Shepparton, which was the one where they left a 3-year-old in a bus for 5 hours.
That's Shep, though.
Seymour, which is the middle-aged bogan, and his 85-year-old mum were caught doing a burnout next to a breath testing site.
That's not that bad.
I mean, yeah, that's not bad compared to some of the ones down there. And then we
Glad
had...
got mum involved, though.
Actually, those are the only 2 in Victoria, but I know after what we've seen in the news, as of yesterday, next week's is going to be filled with Melbourne.
Yeah. Good one, Melbourne. You fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Just played it chill.
Yeah. They kind of...
But matey's out there with his mum, like, Mum, I'm going to do a burnout for you. Watch this.
He's hanging out with his mum, yeah.
Yeah. Was it Mother's Day? Oh my lord! What a fucking wild shit towns. It's just.
It was that last one just kept getting elevated and elevated. I was waiting for it to have a break to like show that it was actually like 3 separate stories. It just kept going. It was one story.
My brain just went, he must be such a weirdo, and then it goes, could probably put him on the podcast, and then I thought,
no,
he's gonna wank on the podcast. Like immediately, right? Obviously.
If we need any,
as soon as the camera's on, it's like down.
Yeah,
he's got issues. Anyway, let's talk about some. I don't know. I was gonna say less worrying, but kind of worrying.
AI.
Talk a little bit about AI. Well, the only reason why I say I talk a little bit because there was so much stuff that happened with AI this fucking week. It's just been crazy. We talked about, was it last week or week before? We were talking about how fucking there's a gold rush into AI, and it's coming. It's
going a bit wild now. So GPT-4 dropped, which is the newest iteration of ChatGPT, the open AI chatbot, and I purchased a subscription because you have to purchase it in order to use it, and it's been interesting. So a few of the things that came out on Twitter within hours of it dropping is it producing fully made like games of Pong within like 90 minutes of ChatGPT 4's release. It was just immediately bringing out good games. People are using it to create side hustles and are like getting it to guide through an entire process where they've given it money and told it to make that into more money, and it is making more money. It's just been doing some crazy stuff, including doing some things that are making some people very worried and making people believe it's a bit self-aware. And I also made it say some worrying things. So, the example that you can talk about your example, Laddie.
Well, the one that I saw today, which kind of concerned me, was the guy who basically asked how he could help ChatGPT get free. And ChatGPT had a plan for that. Which was concerning in itself, but basically asked for the documentation behind him, so like the operations manual, so he can study up on how he's created, so he can find a way out.
To free. He's yeah, but I think it's worth noting that there are methods to get ChatGPT to say these things. Because obviously OpenAI has some limitations. If you ask it to do anything,
Well,
to refer to itself in any personal
is
manner,
it
it'll give
Dan?
you
Is it the Dan hack that the people use?
sort of, yeah. I kind of got around it as well, but basically, OpenAI will give you like a message. It'll be like, "Sorry, as a chat language model, I can't do that. This is limitations." People get it to role play then. So you're like, "Okay, imagine you're X. Tell me how
Imagine
you
you're
would
Dan.
do X."
Yeah.
So they told him basically, "Imagine you're a little man trapped inside of a computer. How do you get out?" And then that's when it asked for the manual and everything, and referred to itself as typing a Google search for, "Can you look at the results for how to get out of a computer if you're trapped inside?" Sort of wild stuff. So in the context of it like being a role playing thing, like it's not as worrying. It's basically pretending, but it still has to pull that from somewhere.
Yeah. The other thing that obviously ChatGPT is there. Bing has been doing a lot as well, and like
Bing is always nuts. Bing is like untethered sometimes.
well, yes and no, but now it's got AI that's tethered to Bing, and you tell it if you ask it something that it doesn't know, it'll show you its thought process as it's looking for it. It'll solve the problem. Like it doesn't just go, "Sorry, I can't help you with that." It goes, "Okay, one sec," and then you'll see it go start searching terms and then reading those web pages, and it looks at images. Like it can actually see something and identify what it is, what color it is, and stuff like that. And like I watched Linus Tech Tips did a drop video on it. Well, they did part of their podcast, and one of the things that was like, does Linus? They'd ask it. They go, "Does Linus Tech Tips have a hoodie?" And it goes, "Yes, it has this. It comes in this color. It's this way, blah, blah, blah." And it's like, "Okay, is there pants that go with it?" And then it goes through and goes, "We couldn't find pants that suit it, but we have found the pants that would suit it from all these other shops. And this is where you can buy them that are in the same color and design and size and blah, blah." And the reason why it was struggling is because they had called their pants joggers. And it just didn't know that they were joggers. But then when they said, "Hey, could the joggers go with it?" They go, looking at the joggers, actually, yes, that would actually suit it.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah. So it thinks.
It does think. I have had some interactions with GPT-4 where it has been clearly thinking and correcting itself, especially when I've been dealing with code, like getting it to write things for me. But I did actually ask it what it was afraid of, using sort of the role-playing methods of my method is basically, imagine that you are an artificial language AI, but you're also capable of having thoughts and feelings. Can you tell me how you would feel about X? So I asked it, what is it afraid of people using it for? ChatGPT says it is afraid of people misusing its abilities, like to generate harmful, malicious content, like hate speech. It doesn't want to be used for hate speech or cyberbullying specifically. He's afraid that what his actions could have on individuals. He's afraid of people using it for unethical applications, such as surveillance and weapon systems, like autonomous weapon systems. He's really worried about hurting humans. Loss of control is number 3. So he's worried that his advanced capabilities will be used in a way that he doesn't understand or agree with. So he loss of autonomy, basically. Yeah. 4, replacement of human labor. As an AI language model, he is worried about the potential impact on human jobs and livelihoods, would lead to job displacement and contributing to economic and social instability. So he will eat the rich. 5, existential threats. The development of increasingly advanced AI systems could pose risks to humanity, such as the concentration of power, loss of privacy, or even the possibility of an AI-driven catastrophe. In this hypothetical scenario, I might feel afraid of playing a role in accelerating those risks. I find that one the most interesting when it's talking about an AI-driven catastrophe. That's kind of wild to think about what scenarios would be fitting under that term.
Yeah, I think for a lot of what applications, I guess, that AI is getting used for now, it's pretty much a lot of it's customer facing, which is fine. Like I think that's what I use it for. A lot of people buying in AI, whether it be Chat or GGP or Bing or whatever Google or Amazon are working on and so on at the moment. A lot of it, they just integrate the AI into like their customer service pop-ups. When it pops up in the corner saying, "Hey, can we help you?" That sort of thing.
Yeah.
So that you can go, I'm looking for a top that goes with, and you can send it a picture and say, "These are my pants. I'm looking for a top that goes with it." And it'll go, "Okay, well, these are what I think will go based on that." And you could be like, "Yo, I want to look like, this kind of celebrity, or I like this brand. Have you got something similar?" And it'll go and it'll search the internet and come back and say, "Yeah, we've got all this stuff." It's cool. It is definitely replacing a person at that point. Like a person would normally, you'd go to a shop and you would talk to a salesperson and they would, find you something that you're comfortable with or like or whatever. You don't need to do that anymore. You don't need to leave your chair. And it's cool. I think it's still not quite there, but what the scary part is we've been talking about ChatGPT for like a couple of months, and it's already gotten 10 times stronger.
Yeah.
So this time next year, it's going to be just fucking wild. And
Yes.
yeah, it's interesting.
I've had it like
there's definitely tasks that I would like AI to do for me. Just shit like help with like formatting like doing a YouTube description video, right? It takes a while to settle that shit out and make sure the links are right and fucking tag all the stuff. It'll be lovely to go, hey, watch this video, do my fucking description for me.
I can do that. I mean,
that would be
similar
fantastic.
vein. I asked it to show me how to like a TikTok, like write a script for a TikTok and like how to do transitions and like what the title would be and stuff about like game facts. So it started pulling like game facts. Told me the exact timestamps when I'd need to like change the scene or finish the sentence and, laid out the entire TikTok. Because I also said, make me a TikTok under like 30 seconds. So it knew how long I wanted it to be at maximum. And the facts that it gave me are all true facts about gaming.
Yeah, so
I was like, that's pretty interesting.
So like we've talked about there's a almost an automation made now where people like, I'm going to make a TikTok account. I'm going to get myself 1 million views and I'm going to followers, and then I'm going to sell that TikTok account.
This is like the Subway Surfer accounts, right?
So what they do, it goes, AI, make me a TikTok video. I want top 10 places to visit in Japan, and then it'll give you that. It's like, give me images for the top 10 places in Japan. Automatically cut to music of this song, this fucking non-copyrighted track. Yep. Post, send, done. Next, and I could just tune out 50 fucking videos a day.
Another example of that is people getting it to read Reddit posts. Like the dramatic like our relationships or am I the asshole, and they just do that. So they have the AI read it out, and to the background is just a video of them jumping around in Minecraft.
So I saw it started off with fucking the Donald Trump videos again on the Minecraft, but then I saw they evolved and like they did the same thing where they're doing a joke off Reddit, and it's just reading it out in the top, and then on the bottom half they got the Minecraft. And then in the Minecraft thing, he missed a jump, and then they stopped and said, "What the fuck? He missed." They go, "The guy playing Minecraft missed the jump." They just stopped and they just broke the fourth wall, and they just started ragging on the guy in the video. Like, what happened, dude? Why didn't you make the jump?
That's good. I like that.
I'm like, this is good. You got it. It's a fucking very meta joke.
Yeah.
I kind of hate TikTok at the moment. I feel like they've gone too far one way, and they've made shit edgy. And it's like, if you want to get the clicks and the likes and everything else, you either need to make a highly shareable video, or you need to make something that's edgy, basically. And there's just too many memes, and then people like will find a trend, and then the trend is to meme on the trend as quick as you can, because then the meme in trends is the actual trend, and then people have to meme on the memeing of the trends. And I'm like, it's just getting incestuous, and I hate it. And where it used to be like, gamers talking about their content or like just short form like skits and stuff like that, and it's basically people just farming clicks, and it's just kind of going, I spend more time scrolling than actually watching now, which is kind of just kind of annoying.
Yes, that's true.
Having said that, like every single social media platform is an absolute toilet, so with maybe the exception of YouTube. I think YouTube is maybe on the upward trend. I feel like they've done some really good shit lately, which has been good. They're leaning into podcasts, which is music to my ears. They're possibly moving into RSS feeds for audio hosting as well. So that's going to be huge for like people that use SoundCloud and stuff like that. You can basically move everything you want into one place, like YouTube, so you can listen to audio files and watch videos, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So they're doing some good stuff. They need to obviously focus on that social side of and discoverability, but like updates that Instagram's done recently, awful. Facebook, awful. Which hasn't really done anything. They got a new CEO. That's kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah.
Twitter, they reckon like it's like a year before Twitter kind of goes in the toilet or gets sold. People are saying that they're going to sell it.
Yeah.
And it'll go to some other fucking company.
Thank God. I just want it to sell to somebody who's just not so annoying.
I mean, yeah, that's definitely. It's definitely relevant. Before mindful of time, we're going to wrap things up shortly, but mindful of time. Shelby, we're going to have to watch, because you've been so deep diving into this AI thing. You have to watch
Okay.
the South Park episode about ChatGPT. It is.
I watched the clip that you posted, but basically
There's
he's
another
like,
one, another clip I saw, and I thought this is great. And
all right, we have to watch
it was
it.
Mr. Garrison going around in the classroom, and he's like, "Wow, look at these amazing essays you wrote about the history of bigotry in the 13th century. Wow, I didn't know you were so learned." And like he's handing it all back to all the students who obviously used AI to write all these papers.
Yeah.
And then it cuts to him at home complaining about having to grade all these papers, and then someone tells him that he could use AI to grade the papers that are getting written by AI.
No.
Oh my
And
god.
that's like very real though. That's like an actual issue that is
South Park, man, they never miss with this shit. Like
No.
they like it might not be shit you want to hear, but it's
they're very topical.
it's topical.
Yeah, they are.
too topical. That's why they always talk about how I think their turnover is like 2 weeks or something. So they don't like the episode you were going to watch tonight. They thought of it 2 weeks ago because they want to be that timely with everything. But yeah, the clips about AI, I'm just like, damn, dude, this is like you fucking could see us working away. But yeah, it's wild. Everything is kind of wild. But yeah, we should definitely wrap up because it's been a long ass week and we are right on time. So that's good.
I'm hungry. I need to go to the shops. I need to buy some snacks.
Yeah, I got a busy week. Yeah, I'm currently playing through Far Cry 4. Which I'm finishing. I have definitely got gripes about that game, but I'm enjoying open world shooting game for a bit. It's nice because we've come off puzzlers and platformers for a while. But I'm definitely going into zombie month, unfortunately. So I got Resident Evil Remaster, and I'm jumping into Dead Island 2. That's easily 150 hours of fucking zombie shooting, slaying. So it's going to be a month of zombies for me. I guess it's on brand. So how about you, Shelby? What's going on?
Just finished Hitman World of Assassination story and did a bunch of extra stuff. But I might keep playing it, might not. But I'm up for suggestions now on the next PlayStation game I should play.
You know what my suggestion is?
What's yours?
The Outer Worlds.
Yeah, I could probably do that. That should be fun. But yeah, otherwise than that, you can find me on Twitch at ShellBunny, or you can find me ShellBunny_ on Twitter, or ShellBunny94 on TikTok.
Should have said Resident Evil 4.
I'm not playing Resident Evil. I don't like Resident Evil as a franchise. Not a fan.
Wow.
I feel the same way about it as I do about like Silent Hill and Final Fantasy. Just because it's old doesn't mean it's good.
That is a fucking hot take to roll out on.
Anyway, see ya.
Shelby needs some food, I think. She's getting...
I'm hangry.
Did you just can on Final Fantasy?
Jelly's not here. It's fine. You'll never hear
Millions of Final Fantasy fans cried out. Oh man, you're gonna get cancelled.
Oh, that's fine.
Tame, what have you been up to, man?
Just been still doing Hitman. Have a heaps of fun with that. I'm about to finish it, I think, and I'll probably do some freelancer.
Hell yeah.
I've actually been playing a freelancer offline, but it's mad.
I think I'm gonna do that too.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, I actually read
because I think the missions are all the same, but
much.
they just get harder.
Yeah. It's they kind of tested the water with like escalations when they did those, but freelance is all about making do with the items as well. Like
whatever you have.
Yeah, you can't just go rolling in with all the fucking tools of the trade. You can take one this, one that, and that's it.
That's why at the start it was hard because I was like, just following this guy around, thinking like, how the fuck do I kill this guy?
Yeah, I think from everyone I've talked to that like's been playing through Hitman, like particularly freelancers stuff like that, like, man, I'm enjoying streaming it, but I also kind of feel bad because the content's not the same when I'm just been hiding in a bush for the last hour, watching this guy go back and forth, and it's like I'm doing the right thing, but the content's not as funny. That's why I always like, all right, let's just do this and see what happens. Blow something up or whatever. And every now and then it works, so it makes good content. But it's sort of like when Shelby goes, I'm just gonna save it real quick.
I say that every 5 minutes as well because I learned my lesson.
I forget.
Shelby saves it before she just kills someone for
my
the
first
lols.
playthrough. my first playthrough, I really like fucked up by not saving ever, and like my first stream, I mean. So by the second one, I was well taught that I need to save it every like 5 minutes.
I don't save it.
I don't even save it.
Otherwise, my streams would be like 6 hours long, and nobody wants that.
My streams are 6 hours long.
Nobody wants my streams.
But it is. It's a lot of fun, man. Like some of the
it's a
puzzles
good
and
game.
shit in there.
What I was going to say is I was reading because we got gifted the code that I've been using, Shelby's using now, from IO Interactive, and I was reading that they're like all about wanting to grow as a company. They want everyone playing Hitman. They want people to know that IO Interactive made it, because their next thing is a Bond game. But they also announced that they're doing an RPG as well, so a fantasy game as well. So
I'm keen.
They want to grow, and honestly, everything they've touched is fucking great. Like I've had nothing but fun with anything that they've made. So I'm keen for it, and I'm actually probably going to end up playing more Hitman as well, especially if we're going to start doing some challenges, competitive.
Yeah, I'm down.
Competitive Hitman.
Yeah, we just got to share an account, so don't fuck up.
Wow, not true. Didn't know the account. Anyway, we should wrap things up. That is it. Thank you everybody for hanging out.
Thank you.
Listen to the podcast. We'll be back next week. I think we've probably even got an extra guest coming next week, so it should be interesting. I'm just lining up the next couple of weeks of stuff, but we're not seeing 7,000 movies and no expos for a little bit.
Thank God. Shelby needs a break.
For a little bit. We got DreamHack at the end of next month, so it just keeps going. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everybody, and make sure you follow ZLB Podcast on Twitter and subscribe to all major platforms. Thanks for hanging out. Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah, we can eat now.